How you doing, everybody? Greetings and welcome to episode 2 of 8-Bit's Basement Gaming Base, where today I've got my Color Computer 2 in front of me because I'm working on a project on this guy, and I figured as I had it out, I'd show you this particular game here for the old Coco 2. It's called Nightmare Highway. Now, it was written by Ken Reichard, and it was inspired by an event that happened back in 2019. So Terry Steen was on his way to the Coco Fest somewhere in the US, and as he was driving down the highway, what appeared in front of him was a couch that somebody had left just littered in the middle of the road, and he hit it. And I don't know what exactly happened, but he was late to the Coco Fest, and it was all the rage. And so much so that a game was inspired by it. So I thought we'd have a look at the game, and we'll just have a quick look and see what the heck it is, eh? Okay, so here we are about ready to play Nightmare Highway. So we've got 3 options here in front of us. We can play, we can get info, or we can quit. So let's have a little look at the info here. So it says to us, you are on your way to Coco Fest, but all you can see on the highway is a wasteland of love seats, sofas, and lounges. What in the name of Terry Steen is going on here? Dodge dead furniture. I think that's a kind of a typo. Collect the green fuel cans and get to the Coco Fest on time. Use the left and right arrows to steer. Use Q to shift up a gear, I suppose, and Z to shift down. The faster you go, the better your score. Right, so that is how we play the game. So let's have a look and see what we're dealing with. Oh, it has ominous music to begin with. So here we are. This really does look like a pretty old-fashioned 8-bit game, but what you have to remember is this was kind of written as a joke, you know, but it turns out to be kind of playable, believe it or not. So we can shift up and down gears. If I can find the buttons to do it, there we go. Yeah, so our gear is written down there on the bottom right hand side. You can see I'm in gear 2 here at the moment. I'm dodging all of this furniture that you see. Well, I'm hitting the odd bit of it, but there are green fuel cans scattered along that we have to pick up along the way, because we can actually crash as many times as we want. That doesn't matter. We've got pretty much infinite lives as far as that goes. But the thing that we need to do is we have to try to get to Coco Fest before the counter on in the middle there runs out. You see where it says 110 at the moment? Looks like a blue TV with 3 kind of antennas on it. Well, that is our time counting down. And on top, it shows us our distance to Coco Fest, which is 1,320 something odd feet, I suppose, because it's in America. But taking a look at the game here, you can see that although it looks a little bit like, you know, a game you would have typed in from a magazine back in the 80s or whatever, it's actually a little more polished than that. Because if you look closely, you'll see that the wheels on the car there are flashing. And the faster we go, the quicker they flash, kind of giving us the impression that the wheels are turning. And also at the sides of the road there, you can see the bars that are kind of rainbow colored. Now, I wonder, is that a kind of a nod or a wink to the Rainbow magazine, which was, I think it was a monthly magazine back in the 80s as well, when the Coco was very popular back in the US. That was pretty much like Commodore User or any of those in the UK. So, you know, it was a user magazine for the Coco. So I don't know if that's a kind of a nod to that, or if it's just a way of showing, look, you're actually moving, guys. But yeah, so this is the game. As the story goes, as I said, Terry Steen was on his way to Coco Fest in 2019, and he crashed into a couch, and he was late to Coco Fest. So we are reliving that misadventure that that gentleman had. And yeah, actually, do you know, it also inspired a song. Yeah, an actual musical song written and performed by people who know how to sing and play music. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a link to that particular song in the description here, that you can have a look at it on YouTube as well. But this is kind of a running joke in the whole Coco community, this particular game, that it's pretty brutally bad, but I'll be honest with you, it's quite playable as these kind of games go. Now I'm going to crank up a gear. We're after getting the Coco Fest with 12 seconds to spare. So that's level 1 done anyway. There's your gears. We move up and down gears. We've got our fuel gauge here. Like I say, we've got to pick up the green guys to keep that up. This is our timer, like I said. And this guy here is our distance to Coco Fest. So as you can see, the more things that we do or furniture we pick up, depending on what gear we're in and whatnot, increases our score. So for the moment, I've got a score of 1,714, and you get 100 points bonus for every second that you have left on your timer there. But that is the game. Over and over it goes, a little faster it gets each time, a little bit more furniture on the road each time, and everything kind of gets more difficult. You know, the distance to Coco Fest increases. I believe your timer remains pretty much the same, but this is the game. You just keep going until you don't make it to Coco Fest, and that's game over. So there you go. This is Nightmare Highway for the Coco 1, 2 and 3, and it's available as a download, and I will put a link to it in the description. There's also actually an updated version of it available that you need to pay for, but I don't know if the graphics have been slightly improved, but there's 1 or 2 little additions in it. But I haven't actually played that version. But there you go. That is Nightmare Highway for the Coco 1, 2 and 3. So I hope you enjoyed the video this time. We'll talk to you all again soon. See ya and bye bye.